like, with the exception of antibiotics, which is about 500 of them in the physician's desk reference, there's not a single pharmaceutical that's prescribed by medical doctors to cure anything. They all relieve symptoms. There's no law requiring a doctor to cure you when there's a cure available. For instance, rheumatoid arthritis is curable in 2 weeks. But why would a doctor want to make $300 in office calls by curing you of your rheumatoid arthritis in 2 or 3 weeks when you can make $750,000 by treating you for 25 years? Insurance pays. Why worry about it? Are there philosophies?
So rheumatoid arthritis is a major problem in America.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people watching this right now are suffering from it.
Yes.
What mineral supplements would you say that individual could take to alleviate some of that problem, that disease?
Okay. Well, rheumatoid arthritis, Gary, is 2 parts. Number one, the actual disease is different from bone-to-bone arthritis or osteoarthritis or osteopenia and osteoporosis, which is simply a nutritional deficiency. Okay, rheumatoid arthritis is a combination of a nutritional deficiency and an infection with a bug called mycoplasma. And there's a tetracycline called minocycline. It's a member of the tetracycline family. And I can kill that bug in 2 weeks with minocycline. I can kill the mycoplasma in 2 weeks. So it kills the infection, just like I can kill the syphilis bacteria with penicillin in 2 weeks. Same concept, no big deal. But then you have the damage that bacteria did to the joints, joint capsule, tendons, and ligaments, and deficiencies, complicated things by causing all kinds of deformities. Well, we have a program we call the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, which has all 90 essential nutrients, plus what we call the secret sauce for supporting and promoting maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, joint capsules, disc between the vertebrae, all the things that are damaged by this infection. And so all the drugs that are sold on TV or the doctor might prescribe for you for rheumatoid arthritis, gold shots, methotrexate, and some of the pharmaceuticals, which I'm not going to name, only relieve symptoms. None of them kill the bug. None of them rebuild anything. They relieve pain and inflammation. And so over time, the infection and the degenerative disease gets worse and worse and worse. Then you have joint replacements. And this is where the big expense comes in. $780,000 for each hip. That's $160,000 for 2 hips, and the knee replacements and the finger replacements and 4 joints and the fingers and the back of the hand, the wrist, the elbow, the shoulders. And so it gets pretty scary. But doctors know that each rheumatoid arthritis patient is money in the bank. They just draw on that deposit anytime they need the money. Kids going into Harvard, hey, come on in, Frank. I have a brand new hip I'm going to try on you. I'm going to give you a discount on it. Frank comes in, charges the guy $78,000 in insurance company.
Sounds like a bit of a racket to me.
It is a racket. What other industry can kill, injure, and infect 15 million of their customers at their workplace every year and still be in business year after year after year? Every known eventuality, were they like liquids or capsules or whatever. We've covered all these things in what we call the Mighty 90. We assure them that they're going to get optimal in many cases 8,000 times or 16,000 times or 30,000 times the minimum data requirement. Because when you have a disease which is debilitating you to the point where doctors have got you on pharmaceuticals, they want to cut your knees out and put in artificial knees, people don't want to wait a year to be healed. And so what we've learned is to use a bigger hammer, and I call it, and to give them mega doses and nutrients to the point where we can rebuild joints, we can rebuild the cartilage. I've had people who's got their meniscus has been surgically removed because of terrible accidents. They've all torn up. They've surgically removed these, and we've rebuilt them because surgeons are sloppy. They always leave a couple of stem cells for me, and I can get to them and rebuild the cartilage, rebuild the meniscus. I do this all the time with these raw materials. And so we've learned over 33 years a lot. And so we use a heavy hammer so that within 3 to 6 weeks, people are saying, I can't believe this. I mean, I was on medication for 40 years. I'm off my medication now after 3 weeks. People who are all gnarled up with rheumatoid arthritis, it took a year, but their fingers are all straightened up and they can play the piano now. Okay, people who were scheduled, in fact, very famous people, Andrew Young, who was Jimmy Carter's ambassador to the UN. He was the mayor of Atlanta and the U.S. representative from the state of Georgia. He was scheduled for double knee surgery 20 years ago. And his son called me up and asked me to help him, and I regrew his knees 20 years ago. And he canceled his surgeries. He canceled his surgeries, and I rebuilt his knees for him. He's never had to rebuild his or have his surgery on his knees. I'm the guy through Andy Young who rebuilt Evander Holyfield's heart. Now you think about it. Here's a guy who had a heart attack during a championship fight, was able to go back and get a approval in the Boxing Commission physicals to go back to box professionally after he's had a heart attack. How can you do that? Well, I can do that. I take people off of the dialysis all the time. I get people off the heart transplant list all the time. I regrow cartilage. I grew heart muscle. I grow knees. I regrow kidneys. I make kidneys function.